Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. I literally woke up 7 minutes ago. I've got myself a cup of coffee because Graham Potter's been sacked as the manager of Chelsea Football Club. We received at 8 PM UK time on a Sunday. No chill whatsoever really, is there? From the new owners. I made a video that I posted just before this announcement that was titled A Message to Todd Boehly. And in that message, I said, we need to do this now. There is no time like the present in a situation like this when results have been so bad. We need to sack him today. And lo and behold, within 20 minutes of posting that video, Todd Boehly, Behdad Eghbali, Chelsea Football Club decided to part ways with Graham Potter. So I'm literally reacting to this news the moment I see it. Sorry the video wasn't immediate. The club's statement here. Chelsea FC have announced that Graham Potter has departed the club. Graham has agreed to collaborate with the club to facilitate a smooth transition. In his time with the club, Graham has taken us to the quarter-final of the Champions League, where we will face Real Madrid. Chelsea would like to thank Graham for all his efforts and contribution and wish him well for the future. Bruno Saltor will take charge of the team as interim head coach. Now, Bruno was working with Graham Potter at Brighton. He's been working with Graham here at Chelsea. Co-controlling owners Todd Boehly and Behdad Eghbali said, on behalf of everyone at the club, we want to thank Graham sincerely for his contribution to Chelsea. We have the highest degree of respect for Graham as a coach and as a person. He has always conducted himself with professionalism and integrity, and we are all disappointed in this outcome. Along with our incredible fans, we will all be getting behind Bruno and the team as we focus on the rest of the season. We have 10 Premier League games remaining and a Champions League quarter-final ahead. We will put every effort and commitment into every one of those games so that we can end the season on a high. I mean, when it comes to a club's statement about sacking a manager, you can always pretty much guarantee what they're going to say. However, I think the timing of this one, as much as Graham Potter is a nice guy, as much as I don't really think Graham Potter deserves the personal disrespect levels that he's received, but at the same time, he's the manager of Chelsea Football Club. The results have been so poor. The responses in press conferences have been so poor. And as much as throughout this entire time where Graham Potter's been the manager, when things started for Graham at Chelsea, there was that immediate bounce. Chelsea looked a lot better than we did under the last bits of Thomas Tuchel's reign, because whenever a new manager comes in, players want to play their way into his mind. They want to play their way into the first team by putting in good early performances, and everyone tries a bit harder. It really is sometimes as simple as that. Now, in recent times, we've heard players come out and say that they're backing the manager because the manager's probably a really decent bloke and he's probably not an arsehole to the players when they're not doing well. But at a club like Chelsea, where those expectations are sky high, and the performances and what we expect to win need to be at a certain level for both the fans, the new owners, and everything else. When you're a nice guy, it probably just does not work. It doesn't inspire. It doesn't motivate those players who are kicking the ball around, 11 of them, every week, every midweek. And to get a change of tune out of those players when things start to go wrong, if that is the attitude, then it doesn't work. So obviously we don't know exactly what goes on behind closed doors at Chelsea. Is Graham Potter actually the man to get angry? A lot of fans have said that they wanted more reaction. I've said I wanted to see more on the touchline because I'm a firm believer that when you've got someone barking orders at you on the side who's kicking every ball with you, when things aren't going well, it ignites something in you. It makes you change and shift up a gear, which is what Chelsea have needed to do so many times. How many times have we gone 1-0 down, and then it's like we go down in gears under Graham Potter? It doesn't make any sense. This is massive from the owners. It's been something where I think they have heard the fans here, because similarly to what we saw with the Super League, obviously this was before the Todd Boehly era, but when the fans make enough noise, and with Graham Potter, it went from support up here very, very quickly down because Graham didn't really build that rapport with the fans. And I think the fact of the matter is, over the course of the last few months, the amount of times Chelsea have lost at Stamford Bridge when there's 40,000 Chelsea fans inside Stamford Bridge on any given match day, and we keep losing to Southampton's, dropping goal leads against Everton, losing at home to Aston Villa in the manner in which we did, the noise around Stamford Bridge, specifically when Todd Boehly is such a hands-on owner. He's been hanging out in Twitter spaces before when things have started to go wrong. You hear him giving his opinions and swearing outside Stamford Bridge after that result against Everton. He knows just how bad this is. He wasn't being entertained. He was feeling the pressure that was coming at him to make a change at the club from the fans. And we wake up today, or at least you guys go to bed on a Sunday night, and Graham Potter has been sacked as the manager of Chelsea Football Club. In every single way possible, this is the right decision. To wait for Graham Potter to turn this around, okay, we don't know now, but I really think it would have taken a very, very long time, and we'd have had to get used to losing matches at Stamford Bridge, not qualifying for the Champions League, maybe even finishing in the bottom half of the table. It was getting to a point where, game by game, you're looking at it and you're just thinking, I think Chelsea have got more chance of winning away from home than we do at Stamford Bridge. And look, over the years, all of Chelsea's success has been built on making Stamford Bridge a fortress. And it's so easy now for teams to come to Stamford Bridge, sit with low blocks, counter-attack, because you know that Chelsea aren't going to do much going forward because there's no strategy. There's no plan. And Graham Potter, I do actually wish him all the best for the future. He might well be Chelsea's worst manager that we've ever had in our history. But at the same time, I do think if he goes to a club in around the mid-table areas in the Premier League, then he's going to do well. I really do. I think there is definitely a club out there where success doesn't need to be immediate, where if you give Graham Potter 2 or 3 years, he can make you sustainable and probably make you overachieve what you should be achieving at your club. So let's wait and see what he does in the future. But now, Bruno Saltor takes over at Chelsea as the interim head coach. This is probably because we've got a Liverpool game coming up. This is the big part here where people are like, well, if Bruno's taken over, does that mean he's got the job? Interim head coach means he's literally just filling in as the head coach at the club until Chelsea appoints someone new. In order for Chelsea to do that, they have obviously got to pay severance payments to Graham Potter. And any new manager they have coming in, even Julian Nagelsmann, who is still contracted to Bayern Munich, even though he's been fired, they're also going to have to put together a financial package to secure another manager. So, who is that going to be? We have got so much to talk about in this week. We've got Liverpool at home, Wolves away on Saturday, and in the middle of all of that, we've got to deal with Graham Potter being sacked and Chelsea employing another manager. So, let me know in the comments down below. This is the video where you get to tell me exactly what you want now. We know that these Chelsea owners are putting together something that they want to see a manager in long term. Does this rule out Luis Enrique? He's not a long-term project manager. Does this mean Julian Nagelsmann is the only option? Look at this cat. Deciding, this is Sumba the cat that I found in a bush last week, where I said that was the only good thing that happened to me last week. Found this little rodent cat in a bush, and he's already destroying everything in the bedroom this morning. Let me know which manager you want to see Chelsea go for. I've got to give my thoughts here, haven't I? Because this is my initial reaction video. Let me take a sip of my coffee again. I think Chelsea should take the risk with Nagelsmann. It sounds ridiculous, but I do think in the long term, all of the other managers available, it's just going to be another short-term fix. And as much as it's not worked with Graham Potter, this is what I wanted. I did want Chelsea to go with a manager with a long-term vision where we can hopefully get behind a manager over the long term. Graham Potter wasn't that guy because it was so far away from what we needed. But I think this is good ownership. They have not let it get too far. You could argue it had already got too far. So maybe, in order for Chelsea to give ourselves the best opportunity potentially of winning the Champions League this year, and at least kick-starting something for pre-season and next season. Cat, shut up. Do you mind? Just give me a minute, all right? We set the bloody manager. Why don't we just give Luis Enrique or Hansi Flick the run here? I think these are very exciting managers that will get Chelsea playing good football again. And if it works, they've got the backing. The new owners have showed they're willing to back the managers. They've got the backing, and who is to say that just because these managers have been short-term managers at clubs in the past, who's to say that things might not be different with a project like Chelsea? So, I don't know. I've just said there I wouldn't mind any of them. I just think all of them have got something to offer. But maybe if you do really want that long-term 5-year plus manager, then out of all of those available, Nagelsmann does seem like the best option, but still a risk. It's not a guaranteed success. But anyway, gonna have some more of this coffee. The job is done. We asked for it, we got it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and when I'm a bit more awake, we'll start posting a few more videos talking about where we go from here. Come on, you Blues.